Hello and welcome. Last week I was sent this trumpet from a Chinese company called Top to review. They didn't pay for me to review it, they just sent it to me in the hope that I would say something about it. And you know, it's nothing particularly remarkable apart from the one fact that is its price. This trumpet that comes with a case and all the normal accessories you would expect from a trumpet is $88 brand new, including shipping. Or at least it is $88 if you want it from the US. If you buy it direct from China, it's a little bit more expensive than that. But you know, ignoring that caveat, $88 for a brand new trumpet. Now, we've reviewed cheap trumpets on this channel in the past. Those of you who are familiar with some of my content will have seen the world's cheapest trumpet, a $40 US, excluding shipping, a $40 US piece of steaming monstrosity that I didn't think was very good. So what do we get if we spend a little bit more at $88 US, including shipping, and get this in our hands? What do we think? Well, let's first go through a bit of just an overview of the features of this instrument. Now, you need to make some concessions when you're buying a very cheap or very affordable trumpet, and some of the things are, some of these edges don't feel quite as nice as it would have. Some of the finish is a little bit dubious in places, but still nothing compared to the piece of atrocity that was that Indian syphilis horn or trumpet or whatever it was supposed to be. All the valves work functionally, and they worked out of the case. I put a little bit of oil on them and they work even better now. It's got a thumb hook, it's got a thumb saddle. For the first valve tuning slide, it has a thumb ring. For the third valve tuning slide moves perfectly adequately. The main tuning slide works perfectly adequately. The first valve tuning slide on this one is a little bit stuck, but still, you know, works perfectly well enough for any student or beginner musician. The one thing that you don't get, which might be useful when you get a little bit older or you start having bigger hands like me, is that the third valve tuning slide ring is not adjustable. It is soldered in place right there, and that's where you have to live with it. So where I'd normally use usually my fourth finger for the third valve tuning slide, I have to sort of use my third finger because I don't have that room and I don't have that adjustability. It comes with a generic 7C-ish sized mouthpiece, and that too, like everything else, is perfectly adequate. Although I do notice in looking at it that it's starting to become a little bit discoloured in the middle, which you probably won't be able to see. But as with any cheap trumpet, I always recommend you get a proper brand name mouthpiece for longevity and also the hygiene of something that actually comes into contact with your lips. But starting off with this, no problems again. The valves themselves are perfectly adequate again. They are machined beautifully. You can see the brass inner tubes there that they use, and Manel or stainless steel or whatever outers that they've got. You've got the integrated spring, so if you tip this upside down, no spring falls out. That's always a nice thing to see. Screwing the back in place, the stop that you've got, again, pretty good. The quality of the threads is, again, not as good as you'd get with a new instrument, but perfectly adequate again. So, you know, for something that is around $90 US, you get an instrument that comes with a case that is perfectly adequate for learners, juniors, students, all the rest of it. It is perfectly adequate. It is unbelievable, to me at least, that you could get something that is as good as this for such a little investment. So if you've got any questions about this, then please let me know and I'll be happy to answer those questions. If you're interested in getting one of these, I should have said perhaps earlier, but if you're interested in getting one of these, the link to do so is down in the video description below. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you should go out and buy this, because if you're an intermediate or a person with bigger hands, then it's not going to be the right trumpet for you. You'll want something at least with an adjustable third valve ring for your fingers. But if you are a student, if you are a band director, or you are a parent who wants something very affordable, very inexpensive, but still of reasonable, adequate quality, then this does seem to be the best that I have seen in the sort of around $100 price point. Thank you very much for watching.